Welcome to TSG Director's Cut. I'm Brenda Hogsett, Director of Player Experience.
And I'm Kelly Wolcott, Director of Judges. We realize the most incredible part of this community is the people and the stories that brought them here.
Today we're sitting down with none other than the movers and shakers of the industry to hear their who, what, and why. And there is no better person to kick off our series than the woman who started it all, TSG founder Jennifer Rosenblum.
Hi, everyone.
Jennifer, many people know you as the founder of the Skin Games, but you started with a background in design and even nursing. How did those two very different worlds lead you to become an esthetician?
Well, you guys have done your homework, haven't you?
We are
So,
nothing if not thorough, Jennifer.
well, maybe if you went back a little bit further, you would have found that I've always been up in front. Ever since I was younger, I was always like the director of activities, director of spirit. I was always up in front. So, like, I always loved doing events and stuff like that. To date, I still do all my high school reunions and stuff like that. So, events have always been in the back area. And then, going forward, yeah, sure. I went to college. I started in as, actually, it's a teacher. But they,
Really?
they were trying to discourage people at the time because they had too many. So, and I didn't really know what I wanted. So that's how I ended up in design and industry. Basically, that isn't what you probably think it is. And in fact, that major is not at San Francisco State anymore. But basically, it was just basically taking an item, and I know a lot of entrepreneurs think this way too, where you take a problem, you have to come up with a solution, right? And then that's the design side, right? And then there's the after you get your product together, your problem solving major thing that you want to out get out there and sell to other people. Then there's the other side. There's the marketing and the uh, patents and trademarks and all that kind of stuff that you have to go into. So that's what I was doing, and I had a minor in graphic arts. So at the time, graphic arts was so different than it is now. I mean,
Yeah.
at the time you actually had to like draw something. Now you just kind of go draw me a logo, and you get
Right. Things have changed
it.
so much.
Mm-hmm.
It pushed us to it pushed you to be creative, and you were
Yeah.
already a creative. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, and look at all the stuff. So basically, I ended up going into graphics for a little bit, but ended up, with my first husband actually got me actually into finance, and which was never my gig. So after that, I actually decided I needed to, find something to do after the divorce and stuff, and decided, okay, what am I gonna do? And I actually really just, I don't know, the internet was just starting to get a little bit more at that time, where you do more researching and things like that. So that's what I did. I just kind of researched, and I found eyelash extensions. I was like, ooh, I want to do that. And, I just wanted to go to the class that they were offering. So I went to this class, and they didn't ask for my license. But in
Okay.
order to get the certification, they said you need to get a license. And I didn't really know much about that. So that's how I found aesthetics. I was actually at the time also going to school to become a nurse, and went through all that and ended up not pursuing that at the time. And that's how I ended up, getting into aesthetics. I thought I could make this a little bit more medical. I thought that would be kind of cool. And to really, I'd had some procedures, with microdermabrasion, which, ooh, I thought was like really a big deal at that time. It's like, oh, and then also even a peel. I remember getting a peel and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's how I got in.
So you were almost pioneering being a nurse and an esthetician, which is what they're doing in the industry now. You spearheaded that for yourself.
Oh,
That
I
was
was
your
the one that
idea,
created that. That was
right?
me. I created that
You
whole.
Girl,
created it
okay.
all.
Okay, creator.
All right, we have to stay rooted in truth. Jennifer, you are very impactful, but yeah, that's we had to tell the truth.
Little disclaimer, not true.
That is a
Well, you know what's
relatively new
funny is
thing.
like after I graduated, you know, there wasn't really a lot of things to do, and I knew being older, that I wasn't going to go working at some spa or something, I wasn't going to be taking my weekends working at a massage or something like that, right?
Right.
So, that's why I thought, okay, well, I guess I need more experience, and then it was really hard to get a job at the time. They wanted at least 2 years of experience, and I'm thinking, I got experience, whatever. So that's when I just went to a friend who's a dermatologist, and I basically interned for him free, right? I just went in there so I could learn, and kind of found out that a lot of the dermatologists deal mainly with acne and stuff like that. It wasn't like doing these lavish, age management, skin revisions or anything. It was mostly acne, right? And it didn't really interest me. So yeah.
So how long from that point until you came up with the idea for the Skin Games?
Well, after that, then I opened my own spa because that's
Mm-hmm.
how you do it. And it was actually just in the same mall as the school I graduated from. And I just got, a big space, within that mall. And it was kind of cute because a lot of the people, a lot of the students would come over during breaks or after they graduated. They had these big ideas. They were going to do all this stuff, came up to the same problem. They didn't have experience, and they were ready to work, right? So they would come to me in practically tears. So actually, before there was a Sola salon, just so you know, another thing I did.
Oh, I know. I went to your place. I went to your place one time and took a class, and I was
Oh, you did?
impressed. Yes.
Yeah. Well, before they did that, though, I started, I didn't rent out actual rooms, but I actually, was doing it by the hour, right? So, because a lot of these people didn't have a clientele to support. So,
Right.
a lot of these students that would come, I let them, rent their station for, by the hour. And this is kind of like before Sola salons and some of these other
Mm-hmm.
ones,
Mm-hmm.
because I had like
Yeah.
6 rooms. You know what I mean? So I thought the idea at the time was pretty revolutionary,
Yes.
especially hourly. Think about that, but yeah, I think I went off off the
Okay.
subject.
Yeah. What led you to create the global platform Skin Games? So
Okay.
yeah, we're
Okay.
yeah.
Now let me go. Just so I did end up I ended up going to a trade show, and I was actually by myself, so I was kind of, a little, quiet, And anyway, so someone grabbed me and they said, "Hey," yeah, right. And someone came and grabbed me. She said, "Hey, let's do a demo on you." And I'm like, "Okay," So I got this really cool treatment, and it was felt pretty aggressive, to do it at a trade show, right? And I thought to myself, I can't imagine what I looked like when they were done. So I kind of scurried to the bathroom, and just to fix myself up. And I was like, oh wow, I look really good, So I was really impressed, and I ended up being a distributor for this company. I don't know how I even did that, but I thought, wow, this is the greatest treatment in the world. Everyone should know about it. And I'm going to be the one to tell them, right? But, there's a zillion other companies thinking the same way, how great
Yeah.
their product must be and
Mhm.
stuff. And it was, just jumping into it was really hard, right? So I had to come up with an idea, uh, because I was such a small fish in a big pond, next to some of these bigger companies, that to get people to try my product or do something. So I just figured, testimonials. I mean, literally, seriously, Brenda, if you just said what you probably did last week, and you said, "Oh my God, I'm doing this, this, and this, and it only costs this, and I'm so excited." Okay, am I on every single thing you just talked about?
No, we got to back it up. What led you to create the Skin Games?
I'm just telling you this right now.
Okay, good. All right. All right. All right. So,
But did you just hear me? I
yeah,
said, I mean, what sells more than anything in the world? Testimonials, results,
absolutely.
right? And
100%.
you just told me last weekend Jennifer, I'm just using you as an
Oh,
example.
gotcha. Yeah.
He said, you know, Jennifer, you should try this, and this. It's so great,
Yes.
Oh,
right?
that's
That's a
right. We were just talking
testimonial.
about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm sitting
100%.
there going, and I just went ahead. I
Yeah.
actually signed up on all three of those things you had
Yeah.
because first of all, you found results and it's a long way in. I'm taking you guys
Right.
a long way in.
Oh,
That's
gotcha.
perfect.
Okay.
We need to
I
know
found
because
out
You're
that
people
totally
want to
good.
know.
Totally good.
and results are what sells.
Correct.
And also there's been, you know, there's never been a beauty competition for skin. You know, there's hair, makeup, beauty.
Yeah. There's
Nothing
we
but
could say all
skin.
the letters. Yeah, there's tons of hair stuff
Right.
out there. Yeah.
So that's how I thought. I thought if I could just tell everybody and show these people the results and have other people get results using my product, then it's a no-brainer, right? That's
Gotcha.
how I came up with the skin games. I was coming
Gotcha.
up with an idea, you know, like how to let people know, you know,
Have the
authentically.
platform.
And
Yeah, to be able to tell people.
so that's
Uh-huh.
how it is. You get a competition, which you get estheticians trying to get the best results they can,
Yeah.
not marketing for any company. They're just getting the best results they can using anything under their scope of practice,
Love that.
right?
Mm-hmm.
If they get good results and they're showing you a really good case study, I mean, what are the odds of you probably trying it? Much
And
better.
oh yeah. And do you know, side note, the skin games was the first case study I ever did. I didn't do case studies before the skin games.
See?
Really?
You know,
And,
that
Well,
and,
yeah,
had
they're not.
me.
and then Brenda, also look how influential you are right now. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you have
Mhm.
all these companies begging you to,
Yeah.
you know,
I've
talk
had to
about their
turn them down. I've turned a lot down because I just don't, I can't carbon copy me 5 times.
yeah. Well,
Can't
you
do it.
kind of can now with AI, but you know, we'll talk about that later.
We can
Okay.
talk about that in another interview. So that is what we would
All
call your
right.
direct. That's what we would call her director's cut moment because I totally didn't ask the question as scripted, by the way. So that is what we call your director's cut moment. It's what led you to create this global platform was going
Yes.
in and going, I need to be able to promote this
Yeah.
product.
Yeah.
And we're going to do it through case studies and get testimonials so
Yeah.
that other people will try this product, other
Yeah.
professionals.
That was the basic
Yeah.
idea,
No,
right?
I love
I
that.
just thought like how come there's never been a
No,
competition
I
like
know your light
this,
bulb just went off. Okay. So Jen,
right?
tell us about those early days. So where did you start and what was the biggest challenge you faced when you were first building the skin game? So like, yeah, you got the idea. So where did you start and what was the biggest challenge you faced when
Honestly,
you were building?
Brenda, I don't even know. I think my husband, Frank, you know, just kind of unleashes me and let me fly because I don't even know
Did you
how
like have to
I
sell
knew.
him? Did you have to tell him or was he just on board all the way?
Oh, he's always on board. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but you know what I mean? Like he always kind of waits and waits. And if it sticks, you know what I mean? And it's
There
not
you
going
go.
away, then he jumps in. But anyway, but I'm just saying, I had no idea what I was doing. I thought, okay, well, I guess I need to come up with a name. Okay, I did that. I came up with some people that, you know, are on the original team that none of them stayed around, but you know, I got a team of people
Mhm.
and we kind of went through different things. And I figured like, well, I guess I have to raise some money, right? Because
Mhm.
you know, having this event isn't free. So I just figured it out. And then I started calling people. I don't, can you imagine just calling some? I knew if I had some really solid people in the industry. And you know, my instructor, my aesthetics instructors, you know, had introduced me to a lot of product lines and things like that. And I knew if I could get maybe Susan Warfield, you know, at the time she's like in charge of the NCEA. I
Oh
thought I'm going
yeah.
to call Susan Warfield. I'm just some kind of little thing.
A closed
Hi,
mouth don't get
this is
fed.
Susan Warfield, you know.
Hey, you know what? I love that. You weren't
Mhm.
intimidated by other people. You weren't like, "Oh, they're too big. I'm too scared." And if you were scared, you still did it. You know?
Well, all they could do is say no. I mean, like
Ex-
I called and then she'd actually answered the phone, and I was like, oh,
Oh
hello,
no.
hello. And I just kind of told her what I was, who I was, and what I was doing. And nobody had done anything like that before. And I think they were just like, she goes, you know what? Yeah, I think I'd like to do that. And I was like, what? And so once I got her, I went to I meet Denise Fuller, and Denise says, yeah, she's with NASN Pro. And she goes, yeah, I'd like to jump on with that. I'm like, what? And then
Okay.
I just went to I actually called Rebecca Gadberry. She's like this ingredient chemist
Right.
extraordinaire, called her up and she goes, yeah, I'll do that. It was just so funny. So now I had these three people that were pretty much big in the industry. I can go to another product line. I'd be like, a lot of the time, well, who else do you have? Well, I've got this person, this, you know what I mean? And
And
it
then
just
ask
back
for
and forth.
referrals. Yeah. Do you have any other friends in the industry?
Right. And then the thing was, the first year, I got to say, which is completely the opposite now, it was really hard to get estheticians on board to actually want to compete, right? Because, a lot of them were like, oh, yeah, I don't compete.
Right. I don't do that.
Right. And
Yeah.
and I had to come to the fact, well, if you guys are both here in the same city, you guys are both competing for the same clients right now, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess. Anyway, so until it was hard to get those first ones on board,
Yeah.
but we did. We got, yeah. I think I even got somebody. Oh yeah, I got a couple international too.
Love
My
that.
second year, I expanded to New Zealand, Australia, Germany, Finland, Switzerland, Ireland, and England. I mean, oh yeah, and then uh, I can't come up with that country. Like Ukraine, and
Yeah.
Russia and Japan. I mean, like, can you believe that?
Oh my
Then
gosh.
the COVID came, so that kind of stomped that
Yeah.
out. But I'm
Threw a wrench in the
getting ahead of
wheel.
myself here.
I love this. This is like hearing this story, our creation story is really kind of it's
I'm on fire.
inspiring.
I'm lit up. Like my
I
heart is
know.
on fire. I feel it. I
Yeah.
love it.
So you created the skin games to help others figure out how to market themselves a little. That's part of the mission and vision. And how has being the esthetician muse for this community changed you over the past decade, personally and professionally?
Well, I'm really mean now. Everybody says so.
No, you're
No, I
not.
think for me, it's even made it more solid in my mind that I think this is such a necessary platform. Not only so much the competition aspect, but the community, the networking, the
Mhm.
building. Like you said, Brenda, you never did a case study before. All of that kind of thing, which helps us market even more today. We were talking about AI earlier. I mean, people are looking for authentic stuff. So you know what I mean? This is 100% authentic, right?
Mhm.
That they're putting together, a case study with real issues and real problems. It's not, none of these case studies are ever perfect, as you would know, Kelly, being the director of judges.
Mhm. No, and they're not perfect for the players. They're not perfect for the people who are scoring them or the client. But what I found, because I competed as a player as well, and it was not my first case study. I have an international certification called ITAC, and you had to complete case studies. But this, you only did like 1 or 2 weeks of a case study. You didn't do a full 8 week, document everything you do, talk about why you do it and how you do it and what is the outcome of what you did. And one of the things that really helped me was more with my communication with my client,
Mhm.
more than anything else, because the science I've been practicing for
Yeah.
19 years when I competed. And I feel like I had a pretty strong foundation as far as the science behind things,
Hmm.
but I was in a new area with new people and starting all over, introducing new things to these people. And my communication with them improved dramatically. And I still talk to those people today, even though I live on the opposite end of the country. So it's,
It sharpens
it's,
your skills
yes.
100%. It makes you dig down because even case studies, the videos, the photography, if you aren't good at something in one area, it makes you work on
Sure.
those things, but
Right, right.
encompassing all of it. So, yeah, doing the case studies and coming, see, I'm firing up again because the skin games is not just one thing, it's multifaceted. It's for everybody and anybody who's in this industry. I say, if you're a hairstylist, if you're a nail person, come to the skin games, cross promote, talk to people because this is for everybody, not
Right.
just
So what
But
other
estheticians.
originally,
growth
Kelly,
what other
Kelly, when I
growth have
did
you,
say, oh, sorry, when I did
no, go.
say to you, you know, you can, you know, you that the problems come up. What I was also referring to is in that no case study is perfect is, and it made me remind me of this is because you said one of the most important. I think that you're going to find in all of this is communication with your client, right? Because if
Mhm.
you're not making sure they're doing their homework or home care, or if
Mhm.
you're not, you know, making sure that they understand what you're doing, or they understand that there's a certain time limit or time, you know, time that you have to put into this project, you know, that they can't go out in the sun and they can't do this, you know, you'll find that there's a lot of times people say, oh, I had to quit my case study because my client, you know, after I told her not to, she went on vacation and got a sunburn.
Yep.
And you're thinking, well, you know what? You should keep it and you should talk to your you know, your judges about this because
Yep.
it shows that you know how
Real
to,
life.
yeah, do the real life thing. This is stuff that happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
never perfect. You know what I mean? You're hopefully you have a perfect client, but it's rare.
It
Right.
is.
It just shows real life issues that come up. All right. So, Jennifer, if you could go back to that person just starting their career, what is the one piece of wisdom or advice you'd give to you, to them, that what you've learned through your journey?
I would say always say yes. I mean, not always, but what I'm referring to this is jump in, you know, try it.
Mhm.
Don't be afraid or don't go to every single class you can go to. Go do a case study, go find a mentor, go find, you know, you need to do all of that stuff because you're not going to learn it alone. So that's, I would say, take all the opportunities you can grasp.
That is true. I will second that
I
100%.
third that. I'm the queen of
100%.
saying yes.
Mhm. I will tell you, I don't know, Jennifer, if you know this. The very first time I heard about the skin games, I told Seth, my husband, I said, there's this competition for estheticians. And first words out of his mouth were, you should do it. And I said, no, there's no way I could ever do anything like that. I don't know if I've ever shared that with you.
I
And
remember you saying something like that, but I remember Seth was like, just do it, you know?
just do it. Just do it. And then my mentor the next year called me out and she just said, I really want you to do this. And so I did. And it's look at where it's 7 years ago, never would have thought that I would be where I am and helping people in the industry, which is
Yep.
something that I always wanted to do.
Yep.
I feel like we get to a certain point in our career, whether you've been an esthetician for 100 years or 5 years, well, 20 years, 5 years, a year. If you're
Or Kelly,
older
or 100, or
or
100.
100, I've been doing it for 120 years, and I think no, anyway. But I think that you had a career before you stepped into the aesthetic world. So you do have experience, you have life experience, you have real world work experience. And when you see other people struggling in your industry unnecessarily, and you have this beautiful platform to help them work through those issues, to me, it's just like, how could you not want the whole entire world to know about this?
Amen.
And we
How
are
do we
so lucky
find you,
that it's so
Jennifer?
easy to, what?
How do we find you on social media, or how can people get in touch with you?
Well, they can call me. I'm just kidding.
Call me
Maybe.
maybe.
So, yeah, yeah, just go to the skingames.com and you can, all of our, it's always the Skin Games. So if you go to Facebook and type the Skin Games in, you'll find our page, and our group is the Esthetician Forum. And we have some other, you know, specific things like waxing and sugaring in Facebook. We also have a TikTok, Instagram. LinkedIn, we're the Skin Games in every single one of them. So we're pretty easy to find. And actually, my phone number is pretty easy to find. It's all over the internet. So,
Would you like to share that in here, or you just want them to find it?
I think you have to do the work and go
Okay.
find it.
Yeah. If you want to talk to her, then you really gotta do the work.
Go to the website.
Call her maybe.
Maybe.
Well, I think this was so much fun. I could talk to you all day. I love learning more about who you are and what brought you here. And I personally want to thank you for creating this platform for me, for everyone else. We've had so much growth over the last 7 years. I mean, when I came in, it was COVID, and we don't even need to go there with that. But I wasn't sure that it was gonna be what it is today, and I'm so excited to see what it will become.
And just so you guys know, we have already, in our first month, record amounts of registrations. So like if you go to age management, we already have like 15 players, which is
the first in TSG history, the most registrations
fast, right?
ever.
Yeah, yes. This is going to be a big year.
This is going to be the biggest year. Number 11. This is the year of steel. This is the steel year.
Steel.
Yes, 11. I love it.
Year 11. I love that.
Yes.
All right, my beautiful compatriots and fellow Esties and all the things.
Yes.
Jennifer, thank you so much for your time and for sharing your story and for being willing to put yourself out there and do what you've done for our community.
Yes. We love you and we thank you. Mwah.